Have you ever seen a video online and just thought, how is that even possible? Well, today, we're pulling back the curtain and diving into the science behind some of the most mind-bending viral clips you've ever seen. Let's get started. First up, the twitching meat. You've probably seen it, a piece of fresh-cut steak that looks like it's still alive, moving all on its own. It's creepy, but it's not a zombie apocalypse. This happens with extremely fresh meat. The nerve endings are still active for a short time after the animal has passed. When you sprinkle salt on it, the sodium ions in the salt act as a signal, stimulating those nerves and causing the muscles to contract and twitch. It's a fascinating, if unsettling, display of basic biology. Next, remember that picture of alligators and catfish crammed together in a narrow channel? It looked like a Photoshop, but it was real. During a drought in Florida, a canal started to dry up, forcing all the aquatic life into the last remaining pockets of water. This created an incredible, albeit temporary, truce between predator and prey, all squeezed together, just trying to survive. It's a powerful example of how environmental pressures can create bizarre, once-in-a-lifetime scenes. This one is a bit grim, but it highlights a sad reality of our high-speed world. You may have seen images of trains with large, dark stains on the front. Unfortunately, those are often bloodstains from bird strikes. Trains move so incredibly fast that birds simply can't get out of the way in time. It's a tragic and unavoidable consequence of high-speed rail intersecting with nature's flight paths. How about those giant fuel tanks that look like they're floating up out of the ground after a flood? It seems impossible, right? These are huge buried tanks at gas stations. But when floodwaters saturate the ground, the buoyant force of the water becomes immense. Think of it like trying to hold a beach ball underwater. The water pushes up on the empty or partially empty tank with such tremendous pressure that it can literally lift it right out of the earth, breaking through concrete and asphalt. Let's move on to something that looks like pure magic, the dancing water droplet. You drop some water onto a super hot pan, and instead of boiling away instantly, it skitters and dances across the surface. This is called the Leidenfrost effect. The surface is so hot that the bottom layer of the water droplet instantly vaporizes into steam. This steam creates an insulating cushion of vapor that lifts the rest of the droplet, allowing it to glide around frictionlessly until it eventually evaporates. Now for a truly terrifying one, the giant gas cloud fire. A video from a security camera shows a street suddenly engulfed in a massive rolling fireball. This was the result of a liquefied petroleum gas, or LPG, leak. The gas, which is heavier than air, spread out and formed a huge, invisible cloud. All it took was a single spark from a car, a pilot light, anything to ignite the entire cloud at once, resulting in a devastating and instantaneous explosion. Speaking of fire, you might have seen a wind turbine on fire, looking like a giant, burning pinwheel. How does a massive metal structure catch fire in the sky? Often, it's from a direct lightning strike. A bolt of lightning carries an incredible amount of energy. When it hits one of the fiberglass blades, it can superheat it and ignite the materials inside, causing a spectacular but destructive fire high above the ground. And what about those perfect smoke rings you see floating in the sky looking like something from a fantasy movie? While some are man-made, large naturally occurring ones are often from industrial chimneys or even volcanoes. It happens when a large puff of smoke is pushed out suddenly into still, calm air. The way the smoke exits and interacts with the stationary air causes it to roll in on itself, forming a stable, rotating donut shape called a vortex ring that can travel for a surprisingly long time. Here's one that's both weird and wonderful: the glowing frog. A video showed a frog whose belly was glowing on and off, like a little lantern. What happened? The frog had swallowed a firefly, and the firefly's light-producing chemical reaction was still active inside the frog's stomach. What's even more amazing is that many fireflies are toxic to predators. This particular frog was lucky to have survived its glowing meal. It's a one-in-a-million encounter where nature's wonders literally shine through. Finally, we have a story that is both heartbreaking and important. You may have seen a video of a bear in a large, open sanctuary, walking endlessly in a tiny circle. This bear was likely rescued from a place where it was kept in a very small cage. Its brain developed a deep-rooted psychological condition, a repetitive behavior known as stereotypy, from the trauma and confinement. Even with all the space in the world, its mind remains trapped in that cage. It's a powerful and sad reminder of the lasting impact of cruelty and the importance of animal welfare. It also shows us that healing isn't just physical. Psychological scars can run deep. If you're ever struggling with your own mental health, please remember that reaching out and talking to someone is a sign of strength. There is help available, and you don't have to go through it alone. And that's the science and story behind some of the internet's most viral clips. The world is full of amazing, strange, and sometimes sobering phenomena. It just goes to show you there's often a logical explanation for even the most unbelievable things we see. Thanks so much for watching with me today. If you enjoyed untangling these mysteries, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the world around us. See you in the next video.